Most cases, if you can't get it done in a day, you're probably not going to get it done.
Welcome to another episode of Ask the Lawyers. I'm Leslie Rohde. So glad you're watching. Today we're talking about family law mediation, and we are so fortunate to have Austin lawyer Jimmy Vaught with us. He is from the Vaught Law Firm here in Austin. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you.
First question, should couples seeking a divorce try mediation?
Well, actually, in most counties in Texas, you're required to go to mediation before you can set a final trial or go to final trial. So yes, they're almost required to do it.
I see. What's the difference between the mediation and litigation? Or not really difference, but the benefits in doing that?
Well, I think the benefits are, one of the primary ones is that in mediation, the parties are making the decision. They're actually in mediation, assisted by the mediator. They ultimately make the decision. Where if they go to court, the court hears a little slice of information, and they're going to make the decision for them.
I have some friends who have gone through these processes before. I know child custody is always something that can be difficult when it comes to family law and deciding how all that is going to work. It's very emotional, very personal. Is child custody something you believe really can be resolved in something like mediation?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, in most cases, whether it's child custody or the division of property and divorce, do settle in mediation. And frequently that involves really high conflict child custody issues.
Let's go back and kind of go through the process for all of our viewers who sort of want to understand a little bit more about how mediation would work. How would you handle mediation?
Basically, an overview of mediation is that usually it's attorneys hire a mediator, a third party, to help facilitate the settlement. The parties, for example, my client and myself would be in one room, the other party and his or her lawyer are in the other room, and the mediator goes back and forth to work to help facilitate a settlement. In family law cases, it's relatively rare that all the parties are in the same room at the same time.
How long can this process take?
I've had a few two-day mediations, but most cases, if you can't get it done in a day, you're probably not going to get it done. And also, too, I used to when I was younger, I'd be like, get to the end of the day, and by gosh, we're going to stay here till we get it done, even if we had to stay till midnight. Now that I'm a little older and wiser, now I start shutting it down about 6 or 6:30, unless we're just wrapping things up. Because what I found is that although you're sitting all day, it's very fatiguing. It's very mentally fatiguing. And the longer it goes, you get into the early evening hours or late evening hours, people tend to overlook things.
I understand. I understand that time limit there. People are bringing so many emotional issues to the table when you're dealing with mediation, I'm sure. Well, what happens though, Jimmy, when you get to the end of that day or a process and the parties just cannot come to an agreement?
Well, actually, there's two options. Let's say if you do settle, then at the end of the day, the parties and the lawyers sign a mediated settlement agreement, which reflects the terms of the settlement and which is also irrevocable. Now, assuming you don't get it done, occasionally people will continue to negotiate, but ultimately what happens is you set it for a final trial and you go to trial.
Anything you want to leave our viewers with today about mediation that you think people should know about it?
I mean, I'm very highly recommend it, quite frankly, because quite frankly, going through trial is difficult. It's you ultimately have to attack the parties to some extent, and it's sometimes hard to heal those wounds after you go through a final trial. Mediation provides the parties with an opportunity to participate in the decision concerning their children or the division of property.
All right, Jimmy Vaught, thank you so much for answering all of our questions and providing some great insight for our viewers. That's Jimmy Vaught with the Vaught Law Firm in Austin, Texas. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much.
And thanks to all of you for watching this episode of Ask the Lawyers. Remember, head on over to AskTheLawyers.com for more information where you can choose a lawyer that lawyers choose.